Over the past few weeks, the public have been inundated with reports of a proposed $1 million cost savings if the city were to choose the provincial policing model. We dispute these claims, and here to talk more about this issue is Art Sibley.
Thank you, Tom. To determine the number of annual police service hours required to provide 24-hour policing for Barrie, the OPP costing branch tabulated the number of incidents experienced by the current service for 1995 and 1996. According to the costing proposal, each incident was given an hourly value based upon provincial averages, which take into account initial response and investigation, follow-up activities, report writing, and court attendance. The costing branch indicated quite clearly that as a result of exhaustive analysis of the City of Barrie incidents, they concluded that Barrie required a minimum 142,542 police service hours to adequately and effectively police our city. The costing proposal goes on to indicate that within the required minimum police service hours, proactive patrols such as foot, bike patrols, community service, and court case management have been included. Page 14 of the OPP costing proposal states quite clearly, historical data indicates that each officer is available on average for calls for service and patrol a minimum of 1,456 hours per annum. The actual number may vary. These factors have been considered in determining the resource level within this proposal. And the proposal goes on to say, the total police service hours required to provide the type and level of service indicated in this proposal are subsequently used to identify the necessary human resources required to deliver the requested level of service. The minimum 142,542 police service hours is significant in our view. We believe the OPP costing branch has miscalculated the total police service hours required to adequately and effectively police Barrie. As stated earlier, provincial averages were used to determine the service hours required. What are the provincial averages? According to a report prepared for the municipality of Chatham-Kent, which just recently rejected an OPP costing, provincial statistics show that it takes an average of 6 person-hours to respond to and investigate a typical incident. The OPP annual report, which we've already heard about earlier tonight, for 1997, published by Operational Policy and Support Bureau, in cooperation with General Headquarters and all bureaus and regions, gives us some further insight into the provincial averages. According to the report, OPP field personnel provided 4,170,291 patrol and obligated duty hours in 1997. This figure is broken down as seen on this slide. You can see there are criminal, traffic, and other matters. The first set of figures are the hours, the second figures are the calls for service, and the third figure is the average for each of those calls for service. The final analysis, it's roughly 6 hours per call for service. During 1997, Barrie Police Service responded to 29,430 calls for service. For ease of comparison, the calls for service are categorized as criminal code, traffic, and other. When the average of 6 hours per call is applied, you can see that the total police service hours required in Barrie is 176,580, not the 142,542 identified in the OPP costing proposal. The next slide shows a difference of 34,038 hours between the Barrie estimate and the OPP estimate. If we accept that each officer is available a minimum of 1,456 hours per year, we can see that the proposal for Barrie, based on provincial averages, falls short by the equivalent of 23 police officers. This shortfall equates to a dollar value in excess of $2 million. This simply means that under the OPP model of policing, to provide the citizens of Barrie with the same level of policing enjoyed in other communities, the cost would be $2 million plus more than their proposal. And remember, under an OPP contract, our municipality would be billed for actual costs at year end. In 1995 and 1996, Barrie Police Service received 28,711 and 29,152 calls for service, respectively. These were the years for which the OPP costing branch conducted their analysis. By applying the provincial average to these years, we identify a difference in police service hours of 31,044. If we accept that each officer is available a minimum of 1,456 hours per year, we can see that proposal, the proposal for Barrie, based upon provincial averages, falls short by the equivalent of 21 police officers. This shortfall equates to a dollar value in excess of $1.8 million. Once again, under an OPP contract, our municipality would be billed for actual costs at year's end. From the information available, we can only assume the OPP costing branch has tendered a most conservative bid. I'll now turn the mic back over to Tom to conclude.